Hiyo mambo ya kujenga kanisa, State House si shamba lako. Enda ujenge kwako Karen, jenga kwako Sugoi, enda kwa kila kanisa iko na Harambee wajenge. Na hiyo ya Kiambaa iko karibu na wewe, iko kwa hiyo area yako, anza na hiyo. Vile unawacha kanisa ya Kiambaa na unaenda kwa zingine, inatuambia story yako wewe. It tells a story about you. Ni nini inakufanya usikaribie kanisa ya Kiambaa? You are confessing something we already know. So mimi nasema tusichanganye mambo ya serikali na mambo ya binafsi. Mali yako tumia vile unataka. Mali ya umma usitumie kama ni yako. Na hiyo ni kazi yetu kama wanasiasa na lazima tuiendeleze.
William Ruto, hebu kwanza niweke hii miwani hivi vizuri ndio niweze kuelezea chenye nataka. William Ruto, I've asked you several times, who are your advisors? Sasa umejiingiza tena trap ingine. Umeingia tena kwa shida ingine. Najua nimeona kila siku kukipambazuka, kukija hii government mnaingia kwa shida baada ya ingine. Sasa angalia hapa tena mahali Ruto amekosea. How did you manage, or how did you calculate, or how do you get yourself in that Martha Karua and Gachagua and other guys who are your political enemies in the same camp? How did you manage this? Umejikanga na mafuta yako. Angalia hapa, acha nikuonyesha hapa, acha nikufungue macho kidogo uweze kuona. Ni kama uko usingizini. Martha Karua is a legal counsel. She understands the constitution very well. Hata wewe Ruto unamuogopa Martha Karua. I know that. Legally speaking, Martha Karua is feared. That's why all the time Martha Karua akisema wewe ni serikali ya machambazi, hakuna siku nimesikia ukitoka ukirespond kwake. Hakuna siku nimekuona Ruto ukijibu Martha Karua. And if I'm lying, people can confirm it here. Sasa Martha Karua ikawakalia kazi ngumu wakiwa na Kalonzo Musyoka na wengine, how to deal with you. Gachagua umemuondoa kwa serikali yako. Amekuja hapa nje, amepata Martha Karua uzo a legal counsel. Wakati wamepatana, Gachagua amepatia all the evidences, all the schemes you had in your government, amemwagia Martha Karua zote. Martha Karua ameenda sasa. Unajua, I've been asking myself, where is Martha Karua? Martha Karua alikuwa amepotea hapa katikati. Martha Karua today amereservice, amekuja na breaking news akisema evidence has been compiled, everything now put together, now file itafunguliwa ICC against William Ruto and his government. Unasikia hiyo maneno? Umejua ni nini Gachagua aliambia Karua? Na si Karua peke yake, hiyo iko na team, a big team. Hata juzi nimeona huyu wakili huyu anaitwa nani, this is senior counsel huyu. There's a guy, I'm able to remember his name, mtawaambia hapa. Akitangaza wazi kuwa we need accountability venye hii government imerun its affairs. Kitu nataka nikuambia hapa Ruto, as we are speaking, mambo imekuja hapa katikati. Kabla tuongee story ya 2027, kuna issue yenye iko personal kwako, hii yenye Martha Karua anashinda akiendelea kuzungumzia about. Can you think of what Gachagua has given Martha Karua as the deep information? And if you see the confidence Gachagua speaks, Ruto is a one-term president. Usichukulie kitu kama ni rhetoric ama ni story inazungumzwa hapa ya kupita iende. Gachagua is more confident that you are going home. There must be something regarding Gachagua knows you don't know. There's something Uhuru came to do in State House that you don't know. Odinga Raila is in your government. Don't look at Odinga on the face value. Look Odinga deep as a friend of Uhurukenyatta. and also not the enemy of Rigathi Gachagua. Ruto, I can tell you, young boys, young parliamentarians who stand to advise you misled you big for the current damage you have caused to yourself and the country. Ruto, I can confirm those young people you are with in the name of members of parliament, my cabinet secretaries, are totally misleading you. The cabinet you have is a cabinet of confusion because those are not your friends. They are not even your political friends. Some of them are your political enemies you are dining with, and you appointed them those positions of cabinet secretaries. How, okay, do Kenyans have hope that Ruto is going to change? You are not going to change. You will not change anything because enemies are working very hard. Some of them you have appointed to your government to bring you down. And if you make the mistake of again firing or dismissing them, you will enter into a big mess double than what we are seeing today. That's why I'm saying there is no science, no way out. Ruto, you will just make things happen before 2027. You are going home.
Members of the press, thanks for coming. We will begin. This is a statement by the United Opposition Leaders issued from the Liberation House. Fellow Kenyans and friends of Kenya, we thank you for joining us this morning. The United Opposition has one aim: to rescue and liberate our beloved nation from the clutches of the tyrannical and inept Ruto dictatorship. That is why we and the majority of Kenyans say unequivocally, one term. Just a week ago, members of the United Opposition, whilst on a Meet the People tour, a right that is enshrined in our Constitution, were met by violence of police bullets and a state-sponsored militia. Specific members of our teams, namely Senator Methu, Honorable Victor Munyaka, and Jamnik Kamau, were targeted for assassination. The evidence is clear in the bullet holes aimed at specific windscreens of their vehicles. We thank God for their protection. Otherwise, we would today be eulogizing them. Their only crime having been exercising their freedom of association and expression. We will not tire from reminding the Ruto administration that freedom of movement, expression, and association are among the fundamental rights guaranteed in our Constitution and in the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, as well as on the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. On Tuesday this week, after the Halloween attack, the United Opposition presented irrefutable evidence to the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, IPOA, on this criminal assault and attempted assassination of our leaders. We expect IPOA to treat this evidence with a grave concern that it deserves. Any attempt to unlawfully take the life of a human being, regardless of ethnicity, gender, or rank, ought to be condemned in the strongest terms possible. We therefore expect IPOA to hold the commanding officer who led this assault accountable. The Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, and Interior Cabinet Secretary, Kipchumba Murkomen, must be held accountable. The buck stops with them. We can no longer allow the brazen criminal acts and subversion of the rule of law to continue because of orders from above. We are saying enough is enough. We have heard Ruto saying enough is enough, but we remind him as an employee, you can never tell your employer enough is enough. You can only pack your bags and go. We are his employers. We are telling him enough is enough. This has to stop. He cannot create a Haiti-like militia in Kenya to destroy the peace and tranquility that we have been having. Fellow Kenyans, our country is ailing. Some even say it is at war with itself, not because of the global recession or pandemic, but because of an epidemic called William Samoei Ruto. The instruments of power are in the hands of a person who simply doesn't care for the well-being of the citizens he purports to govern. For instance, we are aware of a cargo of 25,000 metric tons of sugar that recently landed in our port at Mombasa. This sugar is already on its way to Western Kenya, to a Western Kenya sugar factory to be repackaged and sold to Kenyans. Yet, it was condemned as unfit for human consumption in its country of origin. That it has been cleared quickly and is now headed to be distributed in this country shows the heartlessness of this regime. They have made money their god. We demand that these consignments already earmarked as publicly condemned be earmarked as publicly condemned and destroyed immediately, so that it is not used to poison Kenyans.